Hello, my Facebook friends. How are you guys? I hope you're having a fabulous Friday so far. Not gonna lie, right? Some of us just when we talk with people, we automatically, when people say, how you doing? You just automatically say fine. Some of us are a little bit more open these days, and when someone says how you're doing, they, throw everything at us, including the kitchen sink. So, I always try to keep things real and raw. And normally I don't get like real political because I'm not really a political person, right? So I try to, I believe what I believe. I also respect and believe other people believe what they believe, and they have their reasonings for it. And so as I was, going through today, kind of just getting back in the swing of things at my house because, I was gone in Houston. I came back. I decided randomly I was going to go ahead and, go camping with my son for a couple days. Sometimes we just need to break away from everything going on. If you know what I'm talking about, put breakaway in the comments because sometimes we just need a break, right? A break from life, reality, social media. When I'm on every single different platform doing what I do, I love that I do what I do because I feel like it's an absolute blessing. And the way God has aligned my path with so many people has been a blessing. And I really feel like I'm in a season of sacrifice as I go through and I share my life, things that have happened with me, hoping that it helps create hope and inspiration for others. I see and meet all kinds of people from different walks of life, right? And so I posted some things, right, which I try to stay away from, like I said, political stuff, but I posted something and it wasn't even meant to be political because I don't have an issue with authority, right? Well, if you try to boss me around, that might be something, but in seriousness, I don't have an issue with authority, right? But and I shouldn't say but, and I, right, respect that all of us, because I do what I do, I see different paths of lives, and I realize that all of us have different lenses that we look through life through, right? And so as I was going around, and I tell you guys, I start every day with a grateful heart, prayer, get, regrounded every single day. If that's what you do and you reground yourself each day, put reground in the comments. But I have to take time to kind of refuel myself and recoup, right? Allow my body, not only about supplementing what's coming in it, but supplementing here, supplementing all of it. Because the thing is that, I actually was looking through, I tell people all the time, I joke around, I play affirmation roulette, and I'll pull out my book because whether it's prayer, affirmation, meditation, self-development, whatever it is, I believe that we should be drinking our cup of tea of it every single day. And so when I open up today's, it came to immune system. And what it talks about is my thoughts support and strengthen my immune system, right? So sometimes people might be like, well, why is she always talking about her gut health and her immune system and this health journey? Like, I get it. You were sick, Heather, and now you're great, right? But what people don't understand is that when I look through the lenses of my life, right, I have a couple different sets of lenses, right? I have a lens of what it was like to be in a time in a life that had no hope, right? That was me just a couple years ago. I knew what it was like to take all these medications and wonder if my life was ever going to change again, right? I have a lens of knowing what it feels like to hold my mom's hand as she takes her last breath and dies because of pharmaceuticals, specifically gabapentin, right? Talking at 10:30, gone at 2:15, right? I have the lens of somebody who's experienced extreme pain. I have extreme joy. All these different lenses that we have in life that sometimes they all come together to make one giant lens that we view our life in, right? So when I was kind of just regrounding and going through today, I was listening to a church service online, and the pastor was talking about critical theory and things that we, like the elephant in the room, things that we don't like to discuss so much because it's, it's political. It gets a little hairy, gets a little, people don't like to talk about sensitive things, right? People always talk about and joke, you don't talk about politics and you don't talk about religion. And yet here we are, right? All over the place. Everyone's talking about all of it right now. And so, why I wanted to share that with you is because as I did share a post that has in some ways become controversial, even though it wasn't meant that way, right? In my mind, I was sharing, hey guys, I respect you and what you need to do for you and your family. And I hope that you can do the same for me, because I've seen some just crazy comments all over the place, right? With what I do, get bombarded with more information than you can believe from both sides of everything going on in life right now, right? whether it's political as far as the president goes, where the president shouldn't be, who, health things. And of course, the comment that most of the things are coming in on my page right now for is about the fact of the vaccine, right? I experienced some just hateful comments today, which is fine because in my mind, right, I really truly believe that God brings people to your life for a season, a reason, or a lesson. And today I learned a really good lesson, as well as was reminded of some things, because as I was listening to this, this service online talking about how sometimes it's hard to talk about things that get a little ugly, but just reminding us that part of being the best version of ourselves and trying to move into, for me, I'm trying to be on path with God and trying to be more godly, like knowing that we're all sinners and that we do things that are not, according to the way it's supposed to be. And, and I'm not perfect, right? And I don't have a answer for all. But as I was going through, listening to this, listening to all these comments coming through, watching this angry and hate coming in and just filling in as people are like, you know what? You're stupid over there because, you won't get a vaccine. And, I hope that when you get sick, that you don't go to an emergency room because you don't deserve to be helped because of it. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, like, damn, right? Like, and then of course somebody else comes back with, well, then if we want to go that route, why don't we talk about how, if you don't take care of your health, right? If you've got, medical conditions that can be controlled by taking care of it and taking steps that you don't take it, that you shouldn't get to go to the hospital, right? So it gets into this kind of struggle going back and forth. And as I was explaining to people that it wasn't meant to be like angry and ugly, what it was meant to explain is that we have to understand that we all have different lenses. And I'm actually at first, I wasn't even gonna do this live because I was kind of pissed off, right? Sorry guys, if I can talk real frank with you, because I was angry that I even had to justify my position in life. But with that being said, it feels like maybe a lot of us are feeling that angry, feeling like it. Maybe you feel that way. If you feel angry, put a mean faced emoji in the comments. Like you just feel like whatever it is that you believe in, that you feel like you're having to defend it lately, right? That somewhere along the lines, just human decency and respect got thrown out the window because we're all being turned against each other for one reason or another. And, and I saw something that actually made me think of this because it was talking about how if you put like 5 black ants and 5 red ants together in a jar, they'll be fine. But if you come along and you shake up the jar, right, all of a sudden they all start trying to attack each other and it shows them tearing each other apart, right? And the meme asks, who are you really angry at? The ants that are in there with you, or who came along and shook up the jar, right? So with that being said, there's lots of stuff going on that unfortunately, as much as we like to control it, we can't, right? But depending on the lenses that we're looking through are going to determine how we behave, right? So for me personally, right, I want to be the best version of myself. I try to be compassionate. I try to be understanding. I try to understand that even things I don't understand, like I tell you all the time, right? God's plan is so much bigger that I don't even know how to fathom it. So I try to walk through my fleshy self trying to understand what's in place, right? Because I don't know. It's going to be something I've never been before, right? And so when I was looking at these comments, going through this, just kind of processing, I felt like a giant download going on in these emotions. I felt my anxiousness in my chest. I'm like, whoa, whew. If you feel like that sometimes, like it's just the anxious is getting to you, put anxious in the comments because it's just, I am an empath and I pick up on everything. And so one of the reasons I felt so frustrated was because as I was watching these comments and things being made, I love a lot of you guys, because some of you guys, I was like, right, high five. And it's not because you believe in my beliefs and you have the same lenses as me. It's because you can understand that we all have different lenses and you still respect and care about each other, right? Respect is the basis of every relationship, right? You can't love someone you don't respect, right? If you don't respect yourself, you can't love someone else because you don't even respect yourself in the process, right? So I tell people all the time, like, I understand that sometimes we're not going to see eye to eye, and that's okay because I will agree to disagree sometimes because that's just where we have to be. And because everyone is different, we are not always going to be 100% on the same page all the time, right? That doesn't mean that we have to be mean and angry and just hurtful. And so as I was going through and I was reading this thing about, how our thoughts and strengthen our immune system, and I could feel myself getting that way. I was like, no, not today, Satan. It's not going to rock my own immunity because of everything else going on. Like, I'm going to reground myself, and I'm going to think about, why does it bother me so much? Why? I'm going to reflect and see, hey, Melissa, see why I feel this way, right? Because I love you guys all, right? Shot, no shot, right? Whatever it is that you guys want to do, I get why, you have your reasons. And, you compile the statistics, the information on me. You can tell me how I'm right, I'm wrong. Yeah, I agree. We should all just respect each other. But what it really comes down to is, it really comes down to the lenses that we're looking through. And all I'm asking, and honestly, I mean this, and it's not because I'm some asshole, I'm sorry, but I really do believe, like, if you're offended by me asking for reciprocated respect, then I'm okay with losing the relationship between us, right? Because I think that respect is huge in any relationship. If you agree with me, put respect in the comments, because this is the deal. Let me explain a little something to you about my lens, which this is the part that pissed me off, is that I shouldn't even have to say this, right? But just in case, right? Because some of you guys see me and you see me being happy and sharing my inspiration and hope and how I'm so glad that God has got me on this amazing journey. But today it's more of a real talk. Because one thing, as I saw that once people were making comments saying, well, I hope that you don't get sick because then you don't get to go to the emergency room. And I was like, whoa, okay, so back up. And when I made the comment back and said, okay, so can you guarantee me 100% or my family that nothing will happen to me, right? And then you get the people come back, well, of course, there's no 100% guarantees on anything, blah, 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 right? They give all their information. Fine, fair enough, right? But I want to explain to you something about my lens, right? My lens looks like this, okay? My lens used to be 15 to 30 monthly maintenance medications and injections. I have so many autoimmune diseases that 13 departments at the Mayo Clinic said I would never get better. I thank God every single day that I'm able to live the way I live right now, and I have to preserve my peace, and I have to think of my children, because you know what? My children didn't sign up for this shit, right? They didn't sign up for a sick mom. So to have me in a position where I'm at now, when I have other friends too who have compromised immune systems and their specialists have said, hey, this is not for you, right? I'm explaining this to you because you may not know what that lens looks like. You may not know what it's like to take nausea medication multiple times a week because you're literally throwing up poisons that you had to put in your body. You don't know what it felt like to be like when you switch from a mindset of, hey, let's have your half glass full mentality to now we're just going to hopefully get through every single day, right? You see the other side of me now, the lens where it's always half full and it's great and we're living the best life. And I'm grateful for all the things that have happened in the people's lives I've done, right? But I'm sharing this with you guys because of this, right? I respect everybody. I really do. And for those who are like really doing stuff that I can't just get on the same page with, that's okay too, because I don't have to be an asshole. I can simply just move. Because I'm not a tree, I'm not planted in roots. If something bothers me, I can move away. That doesn't mean that I'm weak. That doesn't mean that I am, I am just hiding my feelings and I'm trying to make sure everything's okay and perfect. No, it's part of me trying to align myself with the path up above, that I want to be a better person and realize that everyone is looking through life through a different lens. And my lens looks different than yours. Right? You might be like, the person who says, I need to have this vaccine because it's my security blanket. It makes me feel better. It makes my family feel better. I read all the statistics. I did everything. I know this doctor over here said this and this doctor over there said that. Fabulous. Like, amen. Like, I bless it on my own. Not that you need my blessing, but yeah, right on. Like, do what you need to do for you, boo. But all I'm saying is that I hope that for those of you who follow along and we call each other friends, that we can understand and respect it, that we're not always going to be on the same page. Even our spouses, even our children, our loved ones, the closest people to us, there's going to be days that we don't see the same way because of our lens, whether it was the lens of something that happened in your past, something that's happening now, whether it's, something that like you really strongly believe. But you know what the cool thing is? You can also change your lenses at any point. Your lens might evolve and you might feel different, and that's okay too. But along the way, I felt physically sick. Like, I don't know about you guys, but if you did, put sick in the comments, because it physically made me sick reading some of the justifications of why people believe that because their lens somehow is shiny and sparkly and much better than somebody else's, that it gives them the right to belittle other people. I just don't get that. And so, like I said, I didn't think that I needed to like even share this because I think it's everybody's personal choice on what they need to do for their family. I've seen both sides doing what I do because I explain to people about how to keep their immunity on point, how to look at a different way. And it's not because I hate big pharma. It's not because I hate, I just want to be an anti-vaxxer and I hate, the government and I think they're out to get me. It's not that. I'm just saying that because I understand that I am that person who always goes against the textbook. So even if you brought me a whole giant pamphlet of every reason why it could be beneficial for me, there is something in there that can talk about why it wouldn't be okay for me. And there's other people out there who are in that same boat, unfortunately. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I hope that if you're my friend and you call me a friend and I call you a friend, that if some of the things you're saying seems really, really, really like just to your own lens, that maybe upon your reflection with you and the guy up above, right, the man upstairs, is that you think about maybe if there is ways that you can change the way that you view things, or at least the way you say things. Maybe put that filter in place because we really don't know what other people are going through right now. And it's hard on so many levels. And so I don't even know how to say it to you guys. I love you guys. The people who are still here, great. The ones who took themselves off, that's fine too. Like, I get it, right? Yeah, and Melissa, you're right. And my own family members, I had family members that went into the hospital that weren't vaccinated. And the first few minutes was spent belittling them. And I've seen people where they're leaving comments saying, well, you know what? My family member's in that hospital. They're overworked. They're all tired. Don't bother going in if you haven't gotten vaccinated. And the rage, like literally, there's been multiple times I've sat and prayed because I'm like, God, you got to give me the strength or you got to give me some bail money because I'm telling you, like, what the hell is all of this? Like, how is this okay? Like, and I just have to get right with myself because I know I can't control other people's thoughts and I can't control their behaviors, and I can kindly ask them to step out of my circle of trust. But I wanted to share that with you guys because somewhere along the way, I just don't understand. It's not just about, I get people coming to me and saying, well, you know what? It's my right to say this. I'm going to speak what's on my mind. You're endangering my family, my kids. And I'm like, you got to understand that for everything you have, there's a tit for tat, like really. And it's not just, oh, well, because your information's skewed and you're not looking at the right spot. No, that's why this is not a cookie cutter fit all. So I'm not saying one way or the other is better, right? I'm just saying, trying to remember that if you're my friend, I love you. I want what's best for you. And if you're my friend, I hope that you can look at me and say, you know what, Heather, I know where you came from. I know what's happened to you. I get why you're scared. I respect you because this is the deal, guys, right? This is honestly it. I feel like we're damned if we do and we're damned if we don't. What if I get the injection and I die within 30 minutes like somebody I know who did, right? Who's had family members who've lost. What if I'm like another person I know that I personally am following along their journey because I'm praying for them because they developed MS and a bunch of other medical autoimmune diseases along the way as a side effect of the vaccine, right? I already have so many medical conditions I don't think I need any more, right? What if I take it and everything is grand, but I still get COVID and it kills me, right? What if I don't take it and I get COVID and I end up in the hospital? Does that mean that you have the right to sit there and put me down? Like, I just don't get it. And honestly, I don't need that in my life. With everything else going on, everything I've made it through, everything that I see other people going through, losses, this, that, I'm not downplaying it at all. I give it all the respect it deserves. I'm just saying that respect isn't just one individual thing that you give it to. I give the respect to this and I don't give it to that. No, it's equally across the board because every relationship is built on respect. So if you feel like I offended you, miss you, love you, I'll keep you close to my heart and our memories. But if you feel what I'm feeling, drop me a heart in the comments because I'll tell you what, sometimes I just don't know who and what, like how this happened because it just feels like it's everywhere right now. And I just don't understand it. And I don't think I'm supposed to understand it Because I tell my son sometimes, right, when he says, like, explains things to me that are really crazy, and he's like, Mom, I don't understand it. Or very awful things that happen. I said, because we're not meant to understand it. Because if we start understanding it, then that means we're going to start justifying it. And if we start justifying it, we're going to use whatever our belief system is to justify that it's okay that we treat people that way. And that's not okay. Like, even if you don't agree with me, that's okay. I understand that. But I don't deserve to be disrespected in the process. So anyways, guys, again, try not to get deep. As you can see, my lupus rash is popping up because it's really been getting to me hard. And the thing is that there's many people that are feeling this way. And the stress alone from this, right? The forced mandates of getting injections, or you lose your job, or this or that, people are getting sick, not with the COVID maybe, but just mentally, physically exhausted, emotionally, right? Some are not ready to fight this fight anymore, and some are ready to give up on it. And you don't know whose ears your words are going to fall on. And you might be the straw that breaks the camel's back. And you know what? I don't think I'd want to live with that kind of stuff on my heart. I would not live well knowing that I was that person, that my belief system was so strong and my lens were so shiny and clean and so perfect that I pushed somebody to that point. If you're okay with that, then kudos to you, but I'm not. So anyways, guys, God bless. I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Like I said, I don't try to go this deep, but something was just like literally weighing me down. And I appreciate you guys for all the kind words, and the ones of you that we are on the same page, because love is love and we respect each other wherever we're at. And I hope you guys have a fabulous, fabulous weekend.